What happens when a wrestling show decides to hold a raffle for the fans? Well, it goes dreadfully, obviously. So let's just cut to some amazing women doing some amazing wrestling. Today's video, we're going to be looking back at the last show for Riot Cabaret at the Clapham Grand in London, and the match between Millie McKenzie and Harley Hudson, both amazing wrestlers, and they put on a great match despite a raffle getting in the way. What's different about this match from our point of view as ringside photographers is that we've decided to shoot this on a long lens, a 70 to 200mm f2.8 lens, so it doesn't go super wide. 70mm is the widest point on this lens, which means we have to hang back a little bit. Now we've got a slightly elevated view for this match. There's a couple of steps that go up to the bar so we can see the ring from a slightly higher perspective so the ropes don't get in the way. We are hard cam side, so there's a few things we need to bear in mind. Most importantly, the hard cam. Bear in mind where it is. We also need to bear in mind that when we're moving and when we're shifting around to try and get the best angles, we're not shaking the floor, so the hard cam, which is just attached to a tripod and just filming the whole show long form, isn't getting knocked by anything that we're doing and isn't making it unsteady. So a bit of communication with the videography crew always helps. So we're going to have a look at some of the benefits of shooting hard cam on a long lens. Most notably, when you've got two wrestlers in the ring who know where the hard cam is, they're typically showing out to that camera between the moves. You should be able to capture some cracking expressions. Let's take a look. So you join me by my leg, where James, who runs Riot Cabaret, is explaining people that this match is for a free shot of the bar when you purchase another drink at the bar. And there's nothing people like when they're offered A, free drinks, and B, when they're involved in a raffle, than terms and conditions. They love it. Anyway, here's the ring. So here's the entrance of Harrison Leon, who's going to be our ring host for this match. And we've managed to go, look, we're quite far back, we're elevated by maybe 2 steps, but as he comes across here, we're able to capture these shots of the money in motion, filling the frame, and also with that backlighting there, providing us some nice contrast and separation. So that just gives you some idea as to how far we can get from our position, and this is just on the entrance. So at this point, we're just making sure that our settings are correct and we're ready to go. And that's one of the other massive benefits of shooting hard cam, is that you can pretty much just set up and know that you're going to get a similar shot every time. He comes up close here to the ring rope, and we know that when we go super wide, again, the gun doesn't work. Shock. But when he comes up here, and there it goes, and we can get the shot there. He's not in light, so it's not perfect, but we managed to get that shot. And then while he's cutting his promo in the ring, yeah, so we're going for a little walkabout here, just between the fans, and just seeing what other angles we can capture, seeing if we can get something from this edge. But then I noticed that because the fans at ringside here have got his attention, we can actually then just swing the camera around here, shoot between the fans, and get some nice shots of fans as they're looking on. Again, good stuff for promoters, this sort of stuff. Fans enjoying themselves always goes well to selling the next show. Entrances. First up, Millie McKenzie. We're here hard cam side, and because we've shot our host in the ring, we know where the light's landing for the entrances, and we know that the focal length that we're using, 200, is going to get a good capture through those ropes on the other side as Millie comes through. Typically, as our first wrestler comes through, no lights again. Just lots of backlighting, lots of little spots on that stage. So Millie comes out largely to darkness until right there, right at the end. She's a lot shorter than Harrison when Harrison made his entrance. So therefore this shot is the one that we got of Millie coming through, which isn't perfect. So we know that we need to be ready for when she comes up. And we're getting some nice entrance pics when she comes into the ring and when she eventually goes up onto the ring ropes. So we zoom back out again, back up to the 70mm, and she goes up onto the ring rope there, nicely backlit, and then she starts messing around with the ring. I take a couple of steps down there just to get between that top rope and the middle rope. There we go, we get the double bicep shot there. And then it's Harley Hudson coming through, and we're just hoping that the lighting is going to be different from this entrance. We're hoping she's going to stay there a little longer in the light to hopefully get something. But we also know that she's going to be a similar height. She's actually a little shorter than Millie. So we just need to position ourselves between those ropes so that we're getting the face focused and the face not obscured by either the ropes in the front set here or the ropes in the back set, crucially. And when she does come round, I know from shooting her in the past, there's one with the hand up to the air, that she does this pose, the double bicep, and it's just, funnily enough, that one just got beautifully framed there by the backlight, which worked really, really well in isolating her from the background. She comes round into complete darkness, nothing we can shoot here, and then eventually into the ring, does her push-ups, but eventually with the pose where I've come down even lower, so we're now shooting between the bottom rope and the middle rope to get that drop down to the one knee pose. So onto the match with the entrances out the way, and we're straight into the action here. Nice shot there with the hands up in the air, isolated again. And what we're going to see here is the benefit of shooting ringside with this longer lens. Not underneath these ropes, but through these ropes, where we start seeing headlocks. We start seeing the way that the women show out to the camera. There's the first one there. With Millie holding that headlock for a long time, and we're getting these, look at these, like 4, 5, 6 expressions of Millie McKenzie showing out to the camera. And then when she eventually tries to break her way out of it, there we go. And we have the full length shot with again the expression there from Millie into camera. My favourite shot of the whole match is coming up now. So let's just forward to that. Comes around behind that little lift up there. That little lift up there gave us this shot here, which gives us this quite remarkable expression there from Harley. Difficult to know where you go for the rest of the match after that. But anyway, here we are. This switch round to portrait means that we can take this shot here where the wrist lock's applied. And then we decide to go landscape for the next one as she's clapping onto Millie's wrist. And we get the full length sort of almost triangular shot there. Attempt at Germans. Eventually get around to the side. But then when we come out of this, off the ropes and then into there, we've dropped down lower. Can you see that, how we've dropped down lower, so we can get the full length of that pinfall attempt there. But by coming down, we're almost front row with the fans here, but we're still a good 2-3 meters back from the ringside area there. Allows us just to shoot through those ropes. Moving it forward now, another attempt at a German, gone back to the German, not the same expression that we got last time. I've put myself up a little bit higher just to change the angle, see if we can do something just a little bit different. And of course they go to a submission. So I've had to come down again to get that shot, full length, nice and wide again. That 70 is still allowing us to get both competitors wide. Off the ropes and bang. The hit there with the reaction as well. 2 great shots there back to back. And then when she whips her off here, watch this. Timing, bang, straight in there. We managed to get the foot to the chest, which gives us this action impact shot here. Now, I don't shoot, just for anyone who's interested, I don't shoot like this burst stuff 30 frames per second unless I'm setting myself up specifically for that. It's just too many images for me to go back and to edit afterwards. So we're just looking at trying to get timing and just trying to hopefully get the timing right on those ones. High speed, I'll shoot burst, but not the burst that gives you that 30, 40, 60 frames per second. Life's too short to be editing that many pictures. Next series of shots here, we've come down a little bit lower. And after the exchange of moves, we should see a chin lock. And we should see also these shots here where we've picked up Millie behind Harley looking on. There it is, that was it. So we saw that, the way that Millie's looking over Harley's shoulder though, managed to capture that shot here. Sort of like a predator looking at her prey, and then eventually coming in. I get a little closer here, turn it round to portrait. And she's there, and I'm ready for that headlock for when it comes in, so I can capture that shot as it goes in. I noticed that our host, Harrison Leon, is clapping ringside, so I've managed to capture that shot of him there. That backlight there can give us some really, really nice effects. Harley comes off the ropes, big forearm there. And then when she eventually gets Millie down, which we'll see here. There we go. Look at that show out to camera and look at the shots that we managed to capture from it. And then eventually, when we move it on here, we'll see that she adjusts her neck. That's a great shot there. Nice little character profile. And then we go into the corner. And she does this 3 times. And every time she does it, I'm trying to capture that expression using the Al Servo tracking to stay in focus all the way through to get these expressions until eventually on the last one, when she really goes for it here, you'll see the capture that we have there with the hands up. It only happened for a fraction of a second there. We managed to get that really expressive hands up expression as she goes into the corner. Moving it on. Millie makes a comeback. Big clothesline there from Millie. Pinfall attempt here. And we'll see again, it's the reaction there to not getting the pinfall. We've managed to capture that there with the marrying up of the head movement from Harley from seconds before. So when the action moves here, we've moved ourselves a little bit lower here and we managed to capture this where Millie's come out of the pinfall attempt and is reaching again out to hardcam, out to me, out to the camera that's ringside, which is really, really helpful to get that shot there. I've stayed low, so I know that the pinfall attempts are going to keep coming, so I'm aiming to get the action underneath that bottom rope and on the bottom of the canvas, so there's nothing really obliterating us. I know where those lines are and where to work between. The backslide comes in with the legs in the air, gives us this interesting triangle shape for the next shot. And then we come in a little bit closer just to see what's going on. And now I'm working on a 70mm to 200mm, right where I would normally be working with a wide angle lens. So we have to move quite quickly because we're on the longer focal length. Everything's going to be moving. Millie comes in for a pin and I managed to get Tom, the referee, really close there. Millie's too close for me to get a shot there when she comes in. I have to get out of the way because she's come straight towards me. I've managed to get that shot there of Harley with her up on her shoulders, but it's obliterated by the rope. But I'm ready for when it comes back this way, so that when there's this series of moves here, I'm in the right place to capture this shot here with Harley on top. And then eventually when they come out, big spear, which is going to give us a 1, 2, 3, and the reaction there from Millie McKenzie as she comes up. I'm ready to capture that. Separated from the background with the Raw. And then eventually when Harrison comes back into the ring, we can capture this shot here. I've come back up a couple of steps to make sure I'm over that top rope. And we managed to get the winner's portrait at the end. But I'm noticing out of the corner of my eye that Harley is showing out to camera as well. And we've managed to go in really close here with that zoom function of the lens. Whack it straight up to 200 to get that crybaby look to sort of finish off the match really there. Millie showing off the money there. I showed her this photo, so I'm sure I'm just going to share it with you now. Look at that. Amazing expression there from Millie McKenzie. And of course, reliably again, the money shooter working perfectly. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that look at Millie McKenzie versus Harley Hudson from Riot Cabaret on a longer lens. If you've enjoyed this video, you can like it, you can leave a comment below, tell us about it, tell us what you'd like to see in these tutorials next. We've got a big month coming up with All In at Wembley and some shows in and around London, and we're looking to create some tutorial content for you online then. If you enjoyed this and you want to learn more, you can visit my new website, nofussmust.com, full of loads of lighting tutorials on there, and you can get involved. Download a free posing guide and also download some video content which will help you with your lighting. Thanks very much for joining us, and as ever, all the very best.